welcome on stage Rowan Naidu.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are you guys doing? Hope you had a fun-packed day full of thrill and excitement. Welcome to the largest BMW M festival in the world. My name is Rowan Naidu. I'm the product manager for the all-new M2. I'd like to just take a few minutes just to show some of the key highlights and features that makes this particular M2 quite unique. So starting up front, the first thing you'll see is the shaped kidney grills with the horizontal slates, which is then complemented by the large square intakes, which is then responsible for cooling down this 3-liter twin turbo motor. This motor produces 338 kilowatts at an impressive 550 Newton meters of torque. The 0 to 100 is achieved in 4.1 seconds at a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. That can then be increased to 285 km per hour with our optional M drivers package. If you work your way towards the side of the vehicle, the first thing you'll see is the the flared wheel arches with the wide side skirts. And for the first time ever, the M2 is available with a carbon roof. Moving to the rear of the car, you'll see the iconic M twin tailpipes, also then complemented by the wide rear bumper. For those enthusiasts that love manual transmission, the M2 will be available in manual transmission and is the only derivative within our portfolio that actually has a manual transmission on offer. And also something quite unique to the M2 is the M bucket seats, which is available with your M racetrack pack. So just to summarize the M2, the car really speaks for itself. It really is designed for those motorsport enthusiasts that are seeking uncompromised power, thrill, and adrenaline. So can I kindly ask you guys to please remain seated. In typical M fashion, we have quite a lot of products still to showcase. You guys are welcome to take pictures of the cars there after the session. And that's it for me, thank you. Have a fantastic afternoon.
Welcome on stage, Ryan Vanasuria.
Hello! Good afternoon, BMW M-Fanatics. You guys live lunch, are you tired now? Okay. I heard the energy when the M2 comp came out. What did you guys think about this? Muy caliente. So you've just seen the M2 competition. That car's going to be the benchmark in compact sports coupes, right? It's the only one that exists. It doesn't have a rival. Now we have this, which is the pinnacle of high performance M vehicles. This is the M4 competition sport lightweight. Now, this car, for the lucky few, born from the racetrack, and they will be the ones to get to own a BMW Icon Future Classic. It is rare, and it was designed to provide the most maximum driving experience, right? But this car has a CSL badge on it. So what does that mean? What does it mean in the BMW world? In 50 years of M, only 3 vehicles have ever had a CSL badge on them. And those cars are the greatest cars probably of all time if you had to ask any BMW collector. It started in 1973 with a 3-liter CSL. The car dubbed the Batmobile by BMW fanatics all around the world. And moving to more recent times, 30 years later, in 2003, we had the E46 M3 CSL. And as South Africans, you know how wild you guys go for that car. And judging by resale value, it's still highly attractive in the market, right? So it's a highly attractive car for our market. And thirdly, it's the M4 CSL. The list is that long. 3 CSLs and that's it. Now, what makes the car so special in terms of the details? So when the car came out, it's quite unmistakable, right? It's got a unique face with a high gloss black kidney grille with red accents. You see a carbon fiber splitter. And I think the most eye-catching part being the laser lights with the yellow icons. Ooh. Other M vehicles also don't have the next thing I'm about to talk about. Exposed carbon fiber on the bonnet. So when you come up and close and get to see it, you'll see carbon fiber hood and exposed in the front. Highlighted by red accents, and as you move over the top of the carbon roof, the red accents continue into the rear. And this is my favorite part of the car, because you can see the sleek integrated ducktail, which is also a unique first for M4 CSL, sorry. Also at the back, 4 twin pipes, right? Characteristic of BMWs, especially M vehicles, made out of titanium in a matte black finish. Now looking at the side profile of the car, it's quite sexy, I would say. The front wheels are sitting on 19s, the rears on 20s. Now BMW M leave no stone unturned. These wheels are made specifically for this vehicle. And the Ultra Track race tires are fitted specifically just for this vehicle. Now colors, this car's Alpine White. It did come in 2 other colors, Black Sapphire, and my favorite, the color that you can see on the screen right now, Frozen Brooklyn Grey, and exclusive for M4 CSL. So motorsport heritage on the outside, but it doesn't stop there. As we move into the interior, it feels like a real race car. Full carbon fiber bucket seats, and you'll see the CSL badge illuminated on the headrest. This car cannot be fully exploited on the road, so you have to take it to a track. And what we've done for you, we've left a space with 2 helmets in the rear compartment. Also, drivers will be hanging onto an M Alcantara steering wheel with carbon fiber shifters. Now, this car was designed to provide the most extreme and emotional raw driving experience of all time for a BMW M car. Now, how did the engineers achieve that? Number one, they reduced the weight of the car by 100 kilograms compared to an M4 competition rear-wheel drive through the components we just spoke about, the carbon fiber bits, the wheels, the seats, etc. The engine in this car is also tuned up to provide 30 more kilowatts than an M4 competition rear-wheel drive. So this car produces 405 kilowatts, making it the most powerful M4 ever produced. Number 3, there's something a bit special hidden under the bonnet. And I'm going to talk to you quickly about it. It's called the M Precision Strut. What that does is, it stiffens the front of the car and gives it its precise driving characteristics. Now, when you combine all these feats, what the engineers have created is the fastest BMW production car of all time. Because around the Nordschleife, also known as Green Hell, that track is the benchmark for which all super and hypercars are tested against. And this, out of all the BMWs ever made, is the fastest car to ever go around that track. So in summary, this is the most thrilling of all BMW M vehicles. It pushes the boundaries when it comes to engineering and performance. Ladies and gentlemen, the car you see in front of you is the unicorn of the BMW stable. Majestic, powerful, rare, and for most of us today, it'll be the very last time we see it in all its glory. So, in that sad note, take it all in and enjoy it. But before that, I know there's an anticipation in the room with regards to what's underneath this car, right, under these covers, and I can't tell you about it, but I know someone who can. So I'm going to invite my colleague Nati Motwa, my buddy. He's the man with the plan, he knows everything about the car. And he's going to take you through a car that is crossing into new territories.
Yes, that is true, Ryan. Thank you very much for the fantastic presentation you had here with one of the records. But, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to see what's in here? Are you ready?
Yeah, that wasn't loud enough. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Maybe.
Are you ready? Yeah! Okay,
Now
now
we
we
can
go.
do it. Let's go. Okay. What do you think? Love it. Welcome to the BMW M Fest. BMW M is celebrating the 50 years of M. So, what a way to celebrate the 50 years. They brought in something new, something different, the new concept of the vehicle, the XM. But there are a few things that I'll tell you about this XM before I get to the technical details and the design of the car. First and foremost, this is the first ever high-performance vehicle from M, which has electrified drive system. Second to that, this is the first BMW standalone vehicle since we produced the BMW M1. I'm sure some of you have had time to look at the M1, which is also displayed here, but this is a car that's coming in after that only car was built as an M vehicle from ground up. So, what do we have on this car? I'll start from the front just to give you some technical highlights, design of the car. When you look at this vehicle from the front, first thing that you'll see what we call the new BMW luxury identity. And what we mean by that, we have a new identity that we only offer exclusively for top-of-the-line models at BMW. And what it contains, you have the split headlights where we keep our daytime driving lights on the top and all the functional lights sit below. On top of that, what we have what we call illuminated kidney grille, which you'll see later it illuminates around here with a very sharply drawn line on the front. But for the XM, because it's special, our grille is also covered around on the outer side with a gold accents. But again, this car is an M car. As I mentioned, it's built from ground up as an M. So what do we have? We have horizontal bars, which are a hallmark feature of all our M models, the latest offer in the market. So ladies and gentlemen, when you look at this car from the front, the car exudes presence and it exudes confidence. But now let's look on the side profile of this vehicle. I think the first thing that you'll see where you're sitting, you'll see a dynamically sloping roof line of the vehicle, which slopes towards the back, and that gives this vehicle a coupe-like character. And another feature that will also take your eyes when you look at this vehicle, you will see the accent gold line surrounded goes across the body of the vehicle. And that is basically one of the features that pays homage to the BMW M1, which also had a black stripe going around the body. So, looking at this car from the side, you see the car that has expressed very, very dynamic posture. And one of the things that makes it possible to see that is because this car is the first BMW M that is offered with a 23-inch wheels. And the car that you see in front of you has again another one of the new colors that we offer on our BMW, the Cape York green. So it's very stunning color that we're having, but also we're going to have quite a lot of visually stunning colors that are going to be available with this vehicle. I know, ladies and gentlemen, you want to come and see these cars, but I'm going to go now and have a look at the rear of this car, which is also a part of the car that you will see shows a character of this vehicle. When you look at this car from the back, the first thing that's going to take your attention is 4 exhaust tailpipes, which are vertically arranged for the first time in a BMW vehicle. But also the gold theme that we have on the front continues around the body all the way to the back with our rear diffusers that have gold trims around. Another feature on the back of the car that pays homage or gives a nod to the BMW M1, you will see we now put our BMW logos lasered into the rear windscreen on both sides, on the left and the right. And when you look at this car from the rear, you will see a powerful and a muscular car. And it is indeed powerful. I'm going to come to that at a later stage in terms of the performance of this vehicle. But at this point in time, let's get to the interior. When you get to the interior, we have some highlights on the vehicle, which I can mention. I'll mention two of them. But the first thing that all the BMW M drivers and the BMW drivers are looking at the car when they get in, they want to be greeted by that driver-focused cockpit. And this car has that in abundance. And we have our new CAF display as part of our offer, which uses the new operating system 8. But one of the few features that we have in the car now, we have on this car where it is breaking the new grounds, the vintage leather part of the upper dashboard and also on your door upper panels. But two features that are most important, which we offer for the first time on this car. When you look at the headliner, the new headliner for the XM comes in a 3D sculptural design. And it is illuminated into various colors. You can even illuminate it in the form of the M colors using your ambient lighting interior. It is a very, very impressive feature that you'll see when you get a chance to get into the vehicles. And on the rear seating, that has also been elevated to another level. In fact, BMW XM has taken the rear seating into an M lounge. It's not just a seat, but it's really a lounge. It gives you that feel in terms of comfort and in terms of space and your leg room and everything that you want that you get in your lounge. So, ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned that this is the first BMW M high performance vehicle with electrified drive system. So how that is done? This car has a new M drive hybrid system developed especially for this vehicle. And that's a plug-in hybrid that is composed of a V8, high revving V8 engine together with an electric motor. And together they deliver an exceptional power. And I know this is important for BMW M drivers. What is the power? The combined system output of this vehicle is 480 kilowatts. And in terms of torque, you have 800 Newton meters of torque, which is quite huge. But importantly, you see how big this car? It's a very huge car. From 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, this car takes only about 4.3 seconds, which is quite amazing for a car as big as this. So, ladies and gentlemen, I call this car the Rockstar. Why? Because it basically owns the stage from front and to the rear. It has presence from all angles. And also, it's very bold, it's unique, it's expressive, it's extroverted, and lastly, and most importantly, it's electrified. Welcome, the new XM, ladies and gentlemen. At this point in time, you have seen all the presents that BMW has delivered at this point in time for the birthday. You have seen the amazing M2, which was here and